Get ready with me while I tell you the biggest difference between industry and a Big Four. So number one, in industry, people are a lot more genuine with their conversations. Most of the time, this stems from the Big Four having a lot of competition, people trying to get more work, people trying to make connections because they know they have to. It's purposeful. It's always like, what can I get from the other person? How's this person serving me? That's all in the Big Four. In industry, it's a lot different. People don't actually have that competition. Sometimes it's different departments within a company which don't compete with each other at all. So because of that, the connections that people have among each other tend to be a lot more genuine. Number two, people in the Big Four tend to be a lot better at advocating for themselves and their career. So a lot of times at a Big Four, because you have to do that, you have to remind everybody what you did that year, because again, there's so much competition, there's so many people, you become a lot better at advocating for yourself and taking credit for the things you do. So in industry, I would say no matter what level, people are just tend to be not so good at this. Whereas in a Big Four, by the time you're a senior, you already know how to advocate for yourself, and you do a much better job with that than anybody that I've seen in industry. That's across the board. People are just not that good at advocating for themselves, in my opinion, in industry. Number three, in my opinion, in industry, people are a lot more skilled in particular areas. Whereas in a Big Four, the biggest thing you learn is how to work a lot of hours, how to pretty much say yes to everything, and how to audit other people's work. But you're not long enough at a client to become extremely technical in one specific area. Whereas in industry, you could be doing one thing perpetually for all of your career, so you become really good in that one skill set. In a Big Four, that tends not to happen. So I think in industry, people are a lot more knowledgeable in specific areas than in a Big Four. In a Big Four, you're a lot more general with your knowledge. Number four, in a Big Four, you get a lot more education and a lot more diversity in your role and opportunities and projects, which is why I'm such a big advocate for anybody to do consulting or a Big Four when they're just starting out their career, because you see a wide range of projects, you see a lot of different personalities, you get a much bigger view of everything going on, whereas in industry, you don't get that. In industry, it's a lot less education, again, very specific to the area you're working in for a long time, so not as much of that sense of everything else going on in the company, not as much education. Number five, industry, there's a higher percentage of people that are older and that have families. Of course, in the Big Four, there's that as well. But in Big Four, so much of the crowd is the younger people because it's a pyramid model. There's a lot more younger people than older people. Because of that, things move quicker. There's a lot more happy hours. There's a lot more going on. So the vibe is a lot more younger. It's a lot more livelier. There's always something going on. There's always something there, which is great, especially when you're starting out your career. Eventually, I think that what you want out of a job changes a little bit. But for me, in industry, I find that it's the opposite. It's a lot more people that have families, that have other priorities than just the job, that have other things